In this, my fourth reflection, I draw from De Lexit Nos, Pope Francis's recent encyclical on the Sacred Heart. And we do our own little pilgrimage from one of those paragraphs, a pilgrimage to the Father's house. Let's take a moment to begin that pilgrimage. Pope Francis writes, "It is the Father for whom we exist," a phrase that comes from 1 Corinthians. In this sense, St. John Paul II could say that the whole of the Christian life is like a great pilgrimage to the house of the Father. This too was the experience of St. Ignatius of Antioch on his path to martyrdom. In me there is left no spark of desire for mundane things, but only a murmur of living water that whispers within me, "Come to the Father." And so we turn to this now as vowed religious, or as those with a promise of celibacy, or those considering any one of those possibilities that are open to us to live in those ways. And we say, as we read this desire for mundane things, that we long that there be left no spark, as St. Ignatius says, so that our hearts are moved so completely by this love of God that we truly can hear this murmur of living water whispering within us, "Come to the Father." In some ways, coming to the Father means leaving other things, things that are very good, but things that somehow for us will take us away from this single-hearted love of the Father. And when we hear this murmur of living waters, and when we begin in our life of prayer, in our life of looking at the world through this love of the Father, we realize, as St. John Paul II says, that our lives are a great pilgrimage to the house of the Father. It may seem that our houses are devoid of a sort of human love that is very natural and very good, but they are filled with the love of the Father, because in our very houses and in our prayer and in our lives, we are journeying to the Father's house, to come home to the Father who loves us more than we can imagine.